Welcome back to Mission of the Chosen, where silence meets revelation. Today we uncover hidden seasons, divine promotion, and why your obscurity proves God is preparing you for purposeful visibility. Have you felt overlooked, hidden in plain sight while others are celebrated? Have you carried a quiet knowing that there's something greater inside you, yet your life has moved through long corridors of silence? That tension is not failure, it's a fingerprint of heaven. If your spirit has been restless, if you've wondered why doors stayed shut while your heart kept burning, this is your confirmation. Not everyone will understand it. If you're not chosen, these words will sound strange, even unnecessary. But if you are chosen, your heart will quicken because God is speaking today. I will make you famous, and this fame is not vanity or shallow applause. It is visibility with mission, influence with weight, recognition tied to assignment. You did not stumble here by accident. Heaven aligned your steps. Before we go deeper, seal your agreement. Say out loud, I am chosen. God will make me famous. Type it in the comments as a statement of faith. And if this ministers to you, like the video. Subscribe, tap the bell, and share it so someone else can catch the confirmation that changed you. Now hear this clearly. Worldly fame is smoke bright for a moment, gone on the wind. It feeds ego, starves the soul, and fades when the crowd moves on. Divine fame is different. It is not about your name. It is about God's name shining through you. It is not entertainment. It is transformation. When God says, I will make you famous, He is promising purposeful visibility. He is saying, I will place you where your voice matters, where your presence carries authority, where your story reveals me. Divine fame makes your life a living signpost. People will not be impressed with you. They will be confronted by the reality of God within you. Scripture draws the pattern. Joseph didn't chase influence. He carried wisdom that preserved nations, and God lifted him from prison to palace. Daniel didn't bend to culture. He stood in integrity, and heaven backed him with miracles before kings. Esther wasn't seeking vanity. She was positioned to save her people when silence would have meant death. David didn't engineer publicity. He cultivated worship and courage in fields nobody saw, and God's hand announced him long before any crown touched his head. In every story, the rise wasn't about spotlight, it was about assignment. God elevates ambassadors, not celebrities. He raises solution bearers, not attention seekers. That is why your hidden season has felt so long. While others curated images, heaven was building a foundation under you. While others grasped for platforms, you were learning to hear God's whisper in the dark. Rejection wasn't punishment. It was protection from premature exposure. Delay wasn't denial. It was discipline shaping endurance. If God had lifted you sooner, the weight of visibility might have fractured what He is now fortifying. Divine fame carries authority. Doors that resisted you will swing open without you forcing them. People who overlooked you will invite you. Your words will land with weight you never had to manufacture. This is not manipulation. It is orchestration. When heaven promotes, no gatekeeper can deny. Yet elevation also tests character. The God who lifts can also level, not to shame, but to save. That is why He has been thinning pride, trimming impatience, healing old wounds, and teaching you to live from a private altar. Public influence without private intimacy is dangerous. God would rather hide you with Him than expose you to applause that empties your soul. Your hidden nights of worship were not wasted, they were oil. And when the lamp is lifted, that oil will burn steady. Still, visibility is not comfortable. Joseph's promotion provoked jealousy. David's songs drew Saul's spears. Jesus himself was adored by crowds and hunted by critics. Fame in the kingdom draws both honor and hostility. With recognition comes scrutiny. With favor comes pressure. With influence comes the temptation to perform. But fear not. The same hand that announces you will also cover you. You will not rise alone, you will rise carried by grace, and you will not be sustained by applause. You will be sustained by presence. You may ask, why me? Why now? Because the world needs what you carry. Heaven is not elevating you to decorate a stage, He is positioning you to deliver an answer. Joseph carried strategy. Daniel carried revelation. Esther carried courage. David carried worship and war. You carry a unique deposit language for weary hearts, solutions in your niche, creativity that awakens hope, authority that cuts through confusion. God is not sending you into visibility to build your brand. He is sending you to break yokes. That is why the warfare intensified right before this moment. The enemy fights hardest on the edge of promotion. When opportunities flickered out, when resources dried up, when people misunderstood you, when your mind battled doubt, those were not random storms. They were strategic resistance to make you quit the week before the door opened. You're still standing, which means you're closer than you think. So how do you posture yourself now? Not by striving, forcing, or hustling in panic. You posture yourself with humility that says, "It's not me, it's God in me." With obedience in small instructions that others ignore. With prayer that keeps your ear tuned to heaven when crowds get loud. With fasting that clears your spirit and unclutters your motives. With stewardship that honors the little so you can carry the much. With purity that leaves no shadows for scandal to grow. With discipline that respects time, words, and assignments. With bold confession that agrees with the promise, "I will walk in influence for God's glory." Watch the subtle signs, prophetic dreams that preview your future, unusual opportunities that seem beyond your resume, confirmations from voices that couldn't possibly know your private prayers, a sudden stirring to sharpen your gifts, even intensified resistance that reveals how close you are. These are not coincidences. They are breadcrumbs to your appointed moment. And when the door opens, don't shrink back. Your light was never meant to live under fear. Humility is not hiding. It is radiance without ego. Stand where God places you. Speak what He gives you. Move at His pace. Let your story preach. I didn't climb here. God carried me. This is why your visibility will have weight, because it will not be performance. It will be proof. People will see your life and say, "Only God could do that." That confession is the point of divine fame. Hear the word again. I will make you famous. Not for vanity, not for hollow applause, for purpose, for souls, for heaven's agenda in the earth. Your hidden season was not a pause. It was production. Heaven has been editing, refining, and scoring your testimony so that when the curtain lifts, what appears is not a hurried improv but a prepared unveiling. You are not late. You are right on time for the hour you were designed to serve. So breathe, release comparison, bless those who rose before you, refuse bitterness toward those who didn't see you. You were never invisible to the only eyes that matter. The same God who hid you is the God who now reveals you. When He says now, no system, no gatekeeper, no enemy can say, "Stop." Walk forward with a quiet confidence, a settled heart, and a loud faith. And let this be your final affirmation today. I am chosen. God will make me famous for His reason and His glory. Your name will be known so His name can be adored. Your story will be told so His power can be believed. Your influence will rise so broken hearts can find the way home. Hold steady. Your unveiling begins, chosen one. The hidden season has always been the most misunderstood chapter of a chosen life. People see your silence and assume you have no value. They see closed doors and assume you have no future. They hear nothing of your name and assume you are insignificant. But what they cannot see is what God is doing behind the veil. Hiddenness is heaven's strategy. It is where character is carved, where strength is forged, where humility becomes unshakable. And when God hides you, it is never because you are forgotten, it is because you are being prepared. Think of Joseph again. He saw dreams of ruling but was thrown into pits and prisons. To human eyes, it looked like defeat. To heaven's eyes, it was preparation. The pit tested his resilience. The prison refined his wisdom. And by the time he stood before Pharaoh, he was not just a dreamer. He was a leader capable of carrying the weight of nations. What looked like delay was actually design. David was anointed long before he wore a crown. He carried the oil of kingship but still returned to sheep. Alone in fields, ignored by brothers, forgotten by his father, yet fully seen by God. It was in obscurity that he learned to sing psalms that still shake the earth. It was in isolation that he learned courage to face lions and bears, courage that would later carry him through the battle with Goliath. If David had been thrown onto the throne too soon, pride or immaturity might have undone him, but hiddenness preserved him. And Esther, months of silence and preparation before she ever stood before a king. Those long unseen days were not wasted. They were sculpting boldness for the moment when her voice would save a people. You must see your hidden season the same way. Stop calling it punishment. It is protection. God buries what He values. Diamonds are hidden deep before they are revealed. Seeds are pressed beneath soil before they sprout. Even Jesus himself spent 30 silent years before 3 years of ministry that changed the world. Hiddenness is not weakness. It is evidence that something powerful is coming. That's why comparison will crush your spirit if you let it. While others are shining on platforms, God is shaping you in silence. While others look celebrated, you are being consecrated. Their rise may be fast but fragile. Your rise will be delayed but durable. Do not measure your timeline against theirs, because your assignment is not the same. Some are called to moments. You are called to nations. Some are called to crowds. You are called to generations. This is also why rejection has followed you. People who could have elevated you passed you by. Opportunities that could have promoted you closed their doors. Circles that could have celebrated you pushed you out. And it hurt. But hear this, rejection was redirection. If they had embraced you too early, they might have claimed credit for what only God intends to do. If they had lifted you, they might have controlled you. That is why God himself said, "Not them, not now, not this way." Heaven refused to let the wrong stage define your destiny. In hidden seasons, intimacy with God deepens. When applause is absent, his voice becomes clear. When validation is gone, his affirmation sustains you. These are treasures others never discover because they never sat long enough in silence. But you, chosen one, are learning the secret. When you can find him in the dark, you will never lose him in the light. And that intimacy becomes your anchor when visibility comes. Do not despise the obscurity. Use it. Worship when nobody notices. Write when nobody reads. Practice when nobody applauds. Pray when nobody is listening. Build as though heaven were already your audience, because it is. The stage may not be open yet, but the rehearsal is holy. And when God opens the curtain, you will not need to scramble. You will simply step into what you have been doing all along in private. This is why your story will last. Others will burn quick and fade fast. But because you have been tempered in silence, when you rise, you will not collapse under the weight. Your fame will not be for vanity, but for impact. People will not just know your name. They will encounter God through your story, and they will understand that your rise was not man-made, it was God-ordained. So hold steady. Do not rush out of the cocoon before your wings are strong. Do not demand recognition before your roots are deep. Trust that the same God who hid you is the God who will reveal you. When he says now, no man can block, no system can hinder, no enemy can reverse, the silence will break, the obscurity will end. And when it does, the world will see what heaven has always known. You are chosen, and you were being prepared all along. The reason God elevates the chosen is never random. Heaven does not hand influence to satisfy ego or to decorate a nameplate. Elevation is always tied to assignment. When God says, "I will make you famous," he is not promising fleeting recognition, but positioning you for purpose. Fame in the kingdom is not about being adored, it is about being entrusted. It is about being placed in the right moment, among the right people, to deliver heaven's solution at the exact time it is needed. Look at Joseph. His rise from prison to palace was not so he could enjoy luxury, but so he could feed a starving world. His influence saved lives because famine would have destroyed nations without his wisdom. Joseph's fame was functional, not ornamental. Daniel's influence in Babylon was not to make him a celebrity in a foreign land. It gave him authority to interpret dreams, to confront kings, and to reveal God's supremacy in a pagan empire. Esther's elevation was not about wearing a crown, it was about breaking a decree of destruction. Her voice carried weight because her people's survival depended on her courage. David's fame united tribes, established a kingdom, and prepared the way for the Messiah's lineage. Every story shows us that elevation is never without mission. This is what you must understand about your own rise. God is preparing to make your name known, not so others can admire you, but so they can encounter him through you. Influence will rest on your life because others' deliverance is tied to your obedience. Your words, your testimony, your very presence will shift atmospheres, awaken faith, and open eyes. Heaven is saying, "I will give you visibility because my message must be heard." But here is why the journey has been so intense. Greater assignments require greater preparation. Rejection taught you to stand without needing approval. Betrayal trained you to keep walking when people you trusted turned away. Silence trained your spirit to hear God above the noise. Every hardship was shaping you for leadership. Every delay was preparing you for longevity. God elevates those he can trust, and he only trusts those who proved faithful in obscurity. If you could serve unseen, you can serve under a spotlight. If you could worship when nobody clapped, you can worship when thousands are listening. The world is desperate for solutions, and chosen ones are the vessels that carry them. Joseph carried strategies, Daniel carried revelation, Esther carried boldness, David carried courage. And you carry something heaven has woven uniquely into your spirit, an anointing, a voice, a gift, a perspective that cannot be duplicated. God elevates because the world needs what you have, and the time to release it has come. Yet do not mistake this elevation for comfort. God is not making you famous to make life easier. He is lifting you because he has placed a burden on your shoulders that others cannot carry. With influence comes pressure, expectation, and opposition. More eyes will watch, more voices will speak, more resistance may rise, and that is why humility is non-negotiable. The higher you go, the deeper you must bow. The more recognition you receive, the more you must deflect glory back to him. For when you remember that it was God who lifted you, no pride can poison your influence. This rise is not for entertainment but for eternal fruit. It is not for building your empire but for advancing his kingdom, and that is why shrinking back is not an option. Do not fear visibility. Do not hide your light. Heaven did not preserve you for silence. Heaven preserved you for proclamation. Your elevation is a sign to others that God is still active, still powerful, still choosing vessels in every generation. When you stand, others will find courage. When you speak, others will hear truth. When you create, others will awaken. Your rise is not just your story, it is the catalyst for many others to believe again. That is why the enemy tried to bury you in obscurity. He knew that once God revealed you, countless lives would shift. But he could not stop it, and he cannot stop what comes next. So rejoice in what is coming. Do not envy the world's fame that fades like smoke. The fame God gives endures because it is rooted in purpose and watered by eternity. This is why you have been tested so fiercely, because heaven trusts you with influence that will not only mark your generation but echo into the next. And when you rise, you will know it was never about applause, never about spotlight, but always about assignment. Before you celebrate the promise of being made famous, you must understand the cost. Fame in the kingdom is not simply a blessing, it is also a burden. It is not just opportunity, it is responsibility. When God gives visibility, he also allows testing. If you are not prepared for the weight of influence, elevation can crush rather than crown you. That is why he has trained you in obscurity, but even now, he wants you to know what comes with divine fame. The first cost is scrutiny. When God makes you visible, eyes multiply. Some will watch to learn, others will watch to judge. Every action, every word, every choice is amplified. Those who once ignored you will suddenly dissect you. The same crowd that cheers can just as quickly look for flaws. This is the price of influence. Visibility brings vulnerability. That is why wisdom and integrity must guard your steps, because what you do in public will echo further than before. The second cost is envy. Just as Joseph's brothers hated him for his dreams, just as Saul turned against David when songs of victory filled the streets, you too will face jealousy. People will ask, why them? Why not me? Some will speak against you, some will undermine you, some may even plot against you. Their envy is not proof that you are failing, it is proof that you are rising. The higher God lifts you, the clearer the envy will appear. But the same God who raised you is the same God who will shield you. The third cost is loneliness. Crowds may grow, but genuine connection often shrinks. Visibility can separate, because not everyone will understand the weight of your call. Some will only see your platform, not your process. Others will want your influence, not your heart. The chosen must learn to walk with fewer, truer companions. This is why intimacy with God is critical. He becomes the friend who knows the burden that no one else can share. The fourth cost is pressure. With elevation comes expectation. People will look to you for answers, for direction, for strength. You will be called to shine when others dim, to stand when others fall. The weight can feel overwhelming, but God's promise remains. His grace is sufficient. He never lifts you without also empowering you. What feels heavy in the flesh will be sustained by His Spirit. The fifth cost is persecution. Jesus himself said, "You will be hated by all nations because of me." The louder your light shines, the more darkness will try to silence you. Criticism will come. Opposition will rise. Accusations may appear. But do not confuse persecution with failure. It is confirmation. The enemy does not attack empty vessels. He attacks those carrying oil. The battles you face are evidence that what you carry is dangerous to the kingdom of darkness. Chosen one, divine fame magnifies everything, both blessing and battle. It draws favor, but it also draws fire. It gives access, but it also attracts attack. That is why God has been shaping you in silence. Humility, endurance, dependence, these qualities were built in the hidden place so that when the storm of visibility comes, you will not collapse. Do not despise the cost, for every burden hides a blessing. Scrutiny teaches you discipline. Envy teaches you humility. Loneliness pushes you closer to God. Pressure strengthens your spirit. Persecution purifies your faith. The very costs that sting you will be the safeguards that sustain you. Understand this truth. When God says, "I will make you famous," He is also saying, "I trust you with weight." Not everyone can carry it. Many crave recognition but crumble under responsibility. But you, through years of refining, have been proven trustworthy. Heaven would not hand you this mantle if you could not bear it. So count the cost, but do not fear it. The same hand that lifts you will sustain you. The same God who announces you will cover you. The burden may be heavy at times, but the glory far outweighs it. And when you carry fame rightly, it becomes more than recognition, it becomes revelation. People will not simply know your name, they will encounter the God behind your name. This is why your elevation matters, because your life will not only tell your story, it will testify of His faithfulness. And though the path includes scrutiny, envy, loneliness, pressure, and persecution, it also carries authority, favor, impact, and eternal fruit. You will rise, not for yourself, but for Him, and when the weight presses on you, you will remember, it was never about applause, it was always about assignment. Before elevation fully arrives, heaven often sends prophetic signs. God never promotes without first preparing, and if you are paying attention, you will notice whispers and markers that your hidden season is drawing to a close. These signs are not random, they are confirmations, divine hints that your season of visibility is approaching. One of the first signs is prophetic dreams. Just as Joseph dreamed of ruling long before the throne, chosen ones often see glimpses of their future in dreams. You may dream of standing in places of influence, speaking before crowds, or being recognized in unexpected ways. These are not accidents. They are previews from heaven, preparing your heart for what your hands have not yet touched. Dreams are God's language to awaken your spirit to destiny. Another sign is the stirring of unusual encounters. Sometimes this may be a sudden, overwhelming sense of God's presence, or moments where you feel guided, strengthened, or awakened as though heaven itself is leaning close. These encounters may not always be dramatic, but they carry a weight you cannot shake. They remind you that you are not walking into visibility alone. God Himself is aligning your steps. Doors also begin to crack open. Places that were locked tight suddenly show signs of movement. People who once overlooked you begin to take notice. Invitations or opportunities appear that seem too large for where you are, yet strangely aligned with what you carry. Do not dismiss them. They are heaven's way of saying, "I am preparing to lift you." Divine confirmation through others is another sign. Strangers, mentors, or even those who know nothing of your private prayers will speak words that echo exactly what God has been whispering in secret. Someone may say, "I see greatness in you," or "God is about to use you mightily." These are not coincidences. They are confirmations that your time is near. You may also feel your gifts stirring like never before. Talents that lay dormant suddenly demand expression. The urge to create, to speak, to step forward grows stronger. This is not ambition, it is alignment. Heaven is activating what you will need in the season of visibility, where before you felt overlooked, now you feel compelled to sharpen your skills. This inner urgency is heaven saying, "Get ready." But here is a sign many overlook: intensified warfare. The enemy always senses promotion before you step into it. That is why storms seem to rage fiercest just before breakthrough. Discouragement may hit harder. Resources may dry up. Relationships may shift. Attacks may come without explanation. Do not mistake this as failure. It is evidence that you are on the edge of elevation. The greater the resistance, the closer the rise. Relationships themselves often shift in this season. Some people will fade from your life, while new, divine connections will appear. God is rearranging your circle so that when visibility comes, you are surrounded by those aligned with your purpose. Do not cling to what is leaving. Trust the pruning. It is heaven making room for what is coming. And then there is the boldness. Where fear once silenced you, courage suddenly rises. Where hesitation once held you back, confidence begins to overflow. You may feel a new strength, a new fire, pushing you to speak, to act, to move. That is not pride, it is God clothing you for the platform He is about to open. All of these signs point to one truth. Your hidden season is ending, and your unveiling is near. Dreams, encounters, opportunities, confirmations, stirring gifts, intensified warfare, shifting relationships, and rising courage. They are heaven's announcement. Do not ignore them. Write them down. Pray into them. Let them build your faith. But also remember, signs are not the destination. They are indicators. They are God's way of saying, stay ready, stay steady, stay faithful. Do not grow impatient if you see signs, but not the full manifestation yet. Just because the door has not opened completely does not mean it never will. It means the time is drawing closer. So take heart. You are not imagining it. The things you have been experiencing are not random. They are markers that heaven is aligning your steps for elevation. Soon, the silence will break. Soon, the hiddenness will end. Soon, the very things you dreamed in the night will become the reality you walk in the day. And when that moment comes, you will know beyond any doubt, God has made you visible, not for vanity, but for His glory. Before divine fame is revealed, there is always a battle. Promotion never comes without resistance. Visibility never arrives without warfare. The moment heaven prepares to lift you, hell scrambles to hold you down. And if you have felt the weight of opposition lately, it is not proof that you are forgotten, it is proof that you are on the edge of breakthrough. The enemy never wastes resources on empty vessels. He only fights those who carry something. And because you are carrying destiny, because heaven has spoken over your life, the opposition you face is not ordinary. It is strategic. The enemy sees your rising. He senses your unveiling, and he knows that once God places you in the light, chains will break, lives will shift, and his influence will be destroyed. That is why your battles have been so intense. Think of Joseph. Just before his elevation, he was betrayed by his brothers, sold as a slave, falsely accused, and left forgotten in prison. Every betrayal was the enemy's attempt to break him before his unveiling. Think of David. Before the throne was his, he was hunted like an animal, forced to hide in caves, dodging spears from Saul. His destiny attracted warfare, and think of Jesus himself. Before resurrection glory came the agony of the cross. Great battles always precede great breakthroughs. Look closely at your own life. Have you noticed how attacks intensify just when you're about to step forward? Opportunities vanish, friends turn cold, resources dry up, your mind is filled with doubt. These are not coincidences. They are carefully placed obstacles designed to weaken your faith. The enemy knows he cannot stop God's promise, but he hopes he can convince you to quit before it arrives. The first battleground is always the mind. If the enemy can plant lies, you are not worthy, you are not chosen, you are forgotten, then he can stop you from ever stepping into destiny. That is why you must guard your thoughts with truth. Remind yourself daily of what heaven has spoken. I am chosen, I am sealed, I am called. God will make me famous, not for my glory, but for His. The second battleground is people. Just as Joseph faced betrayal and David faced envy, you will encounter misunderstanding, rejection, and even slander. Some will rise against you not because of what you've done, but because of what you carry. Your light exposes their shadows. Your destiny agitates their insecurity, but you must not take it personally. Their resistance is not about you, it is about the oil on your life. The third battleground is circumstances. Finances dry up, doors close, timing delays. Situations arise that seem carefully designed to break your spirit. But these are not meant to destroy you. They are meant to develop you. Just as muscles grow under resistance, so your faith grows under trial. Every delay builds endurance. Every hardship strengthens your resolve. What feels like obstruction is actually instruction, teaching you perseverance for the days ahead. The fourth battleground is spiritual. Night terrors, sudden discouragement, inexplicable heaviness, unusual opposition. These are signs that warfare is intensifying around you. But do not fear. Greater is the Spirit within you than anything against you. The seal of heaven on your life is unbreakable. The battles may rage, but the victory is already written. Here is the mystery. The very battles you fight are shaping you for the visibility you are about to step into. Betrayals teach you wisdom. Rejection teaches you resilience. Delays teach you patience. Spiritual warfare sharpens your discernment. Without these battles, you would not be ready to carry the weight of influence. What the enemy intended to break you is what God is using to build you. So do not despise the battles. See them for what they are, confirmation. They prove that you are closer than you think. The roar of the enemy is loudest at the edge of promotion. If your warfare has intensified, it is because your unveiling is near. Hold your ground. Do not quit. Do not shrink back in fear. Stand firm, because the storm is not the end, it is the sign. The enemy's desperation means God's decree is about to manifest. And when the battle lifts, you will rise, not just with victory, but with a testimony that silences the accuser forever. The very weapons formed against you will become proof of God's power. The very pain you endured will become fuel for your purpose. The very scars you carry will become evidence that no opposition could stop what heaven ordained. The word has already gone forth, I will make you famous. But hear this clearly. Divine fame is promised, yet it is not automatic. God does not pour influence into unready vessels. He does not open doors if the character to walk through them has not been formed. The chosen must position themselves so that when heaven announces, you are not scrambling, you are steady. The first posture is humility. Worldly fame feeds ego, but divine fame demands surrender. You must constantly remember, it is not me, it is God in me. Humility keeps you grounded when recognition comes. Without it, fame can poison. With it, fame becomes powerful. Each time God lifts you, bend lower in gratitude. Each time your name is spoken, lift his higher. That posture of humility is what secures the platform. The second is obedience. Before God trusts you with nations, he tests you with small instructions. Forgive that one who hurt you. Release that bitterness you've been nursing. Step forward in faith when it feels uncomfortable. Serve faithfully in silence. These simple acts of obedience are training. If you can follow his voice in private, he can trust you to represent him in public. Every yes in secret builds your capacity for yes in visibility. The third is prayer. Influence comes with noise, many voices, many distractions. Only prayer keeps your ear tuned to heaven. Prayer aligns your heart with his will, so that when the world shouts, you still recognize the whisper of God. Without prayer, the spotlight can blind you. With prayer, you remain anchored. Fasting is another tool. It sharpens the spirit, disciplines the flesh, and clears the clutter of distraction. Before Jesus stepped into his public ministry, he fasted. Before major breakthroughs, fasting prepared prophets and apostles alike. It is a posture of dependency that says, my strength is not my own, my clarity comes from him. Then comes stewardship. Use what you already have as though it matters, because it does. If God gave you a gift, sharpen it. If he entrusted you with resources, manage them well. If he placed people in your life, honor and serve them. Those who are faithful with little will be trusted with much. Stewardship in the hidden place qualifies you for stewardship in the open place. Purity is non-negotiable. Fame magnifies both strength and weakness. If there are hidden sins, secret pride, or unresolved bitterness, visibility will not hide them, it will expose them. Purity protects you. It ensures that when God elevates you, your light shines without stain. Do not treat private compromise lightly, because public recognition will magnify it. Let God cleanse you in obscurity, so that nothing can shame you in visibility. Discipline is vital. Influence is not for the lazy. Fame adds weight. Without discipline in time, in words, in habits, in rest, you will collapse under it. Discipline builds stamina. It teaches you to carry responsibility with strength and endurance. Those who fall under fame are often not wicked, but simply undisciplined. Chosen ones endure because they trained in advance. Faith-filled declaration is also powerful. Do not keep silent about what God has promised. Speak it, write it, declare it. Say aloud, I will see the hand of God. I will walk in influence. I will be made famous for His glory. Your words align your spirit with heaven. Your declarations plant seeds that bloom when the time is right. Watchfulness is another posture. Pay attention to the subtle signs God is sending, the dreams, the opportunities, the confirmations, the shifts. Write them down, pray over them. Discern when to move, when to wait. Watchfulness ensures you do not miss the moment when heaven says, now. Protecting your atmosphere is critical. Not everyone can go with you into visibility. Surround yourself with voices of faith, not doubt. Distance yourself from toxic influences. Guard your peace. Fame will bring admirers and critics alike. Your spirit must be trained now to filter what enters your heart. And finally, boldness. When the door opens, do not shrink back. God did not preserve you in obscurity for you to hide when the spotlight shines. Boldness is not arrogance. It is confidence in the one who called you. If you shrink, the influence will be wasted. If you step forward, God will move through you. Say, here I am, Lord, use me. Positioning yourself is not about striving or pushing doors open. It is about aligning. Heaven will open the door at the appointed time. Your part is to be ready to walk through it. Humility, obedience, prayer, fasting, stewardship, purity, discipline, declaration, watchfulness, atmosphere, boldness. These are your postures. And when the door swings wide, you will not hesitate. You will be prepared, anointed, and unshakable. Now hear this as prophecy, not suggestion. The Spirit of the Lord is saying, I will make you famous. This is not the echo of human desire or the wishful thinking of your own heart. It is the decree of heaven spoken over your life. And when God decrees a thing, no power in earth or hell can silence it. You have endured the silence. You have survived betrayal. You have walked through rejection, obscurity, and delay. You have been humbled in hidden places. And now heaven speaks. The time has come for visibility. The time has come for elevation. The time has come for your name to be announced, not for your glory, but for mine. God is saying, I will lift your name in places you never imagined. I will cause people to seek you out, not because of who you are, but because of what I placed within you. I will position you before kings, before nations, before leaders, because I have chosen you as my vessel. This word carries weight. Divine fame is not accident, it is assignment. God is declaring, I will make you famous so others will see me through you. I will make your story known so others will believe in my power. I will make your voice heard so others will hear my truth. You must understand, fame in God's kingdom is never about spotlight. It is about stewardship. He is entrusting you with influence. He is giving you a platform to carry His message. Because you remained faithful in small things, because you did not despise the hidden place, because you yielded to His process, He can now trust you with greater things. Hear the Spirit. I hid you for a season, but I am revealing you now. I covered you in silence, but I, myself, will announce you. I will cause the very ones who overlooked you to see you rise. I will make you famous, for I have sealed you with purpose. And haven't you already felt the signs, the stirring in your spirit, the prophetic dreams that seemed too real to ignore, the unusual opportunities that felt too precise to be chance, the shifting of relationships that forced you to let go of some while drawing new alignments? These were not random events. They were heaven's hints, proof that this word was already unfolding. But let this also be a warning. Divine fame must always point back to God. If you take the glory for yourself, you will stumble. If pride creeps into your heart, you will fall. But if you stay low, if you remain humble, if you keep lifting His name higher than your own, He will continue to expand your influence. This prophetic word is not just about you, it is generational. Through you, God will touch families, communities, and nations. Your rise will break generational chains. Your testimony will rewrite family bloodlines. Your visibility will ignite faith in countless others. This is why the weight of your process was so heavy, because the impact of your destiny is so wide. Hear him again. I will make you famous in ways you cannot imagine. I will give you visibility beyond your ability. I will place you in rooms where you do not belong, but where I have ordained you to stand. I will give you influence in territories you never thought you could touch. Because this is not your doing, it is mine. So take courage. Do not shrink back. Do not doubt. This is your confirmation. This is your moment. God has spoken, and what he speaks cannot be reversed. Your response now is agreement. Do not stay silent. Declare it boldly. I am chosen. God will make me famous. Write it, speak it, let it echo in your home, seal it in faith. Let the enemy hear your confidence. Let your own heart be reminded of what heaven has decreed. The word is released, the seal is set. God himself has said, I will make you famous. And because he has spoken it, it will be done. We have walked through the mystery of this prophetic word, and now we stand at a turning point. Hear this clearly. This is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of a new chapter. Heaven has already spoken. I will make you famous. This is not a possibility. It is not a suggestion. It is a divine certainty. You were hidden, tested, and refined, and now the season of elevation is here. God is preparing to lift you, but not for vanity, not for shallow recognition. He is lifting you for purpose. The fame that is coming upon your life is divine, purposeful, and unstoppable. And with that declaration comes blessing. Right now, I speak restoration over your life. What was stolen will be returned. What was broken will be rebuilt. What was delayed will be released in due season. Every chain that held you back is breaking even now. Every spirit of delay is scattering. Every closed door is swinging wide. May the oil of favor be poured fresh over your head, so that wherever you step, influence follows. May wisdom guard your decisions. May protection cover your path. May strength carry you through the weight of elevation. You will not rise weak. You will rise strong. You will not be lifted in fear. You will be lifted in faith. Hear me, this rise is bigger than you. Through your life, God will bless families, communities, even nations. Your testimony will rewrite bloodlines. Your story will awaken those who thought God had forgotten them. When he makes you famous, it will ripple beyond your circle. People you never knew, people far beyond your reach, will be impacted by your obedience. But there is also a charge. Prepare your heart. Position yourself in prayer and humility. Walk in purity. Guard your atmosphere. Do not resist the elevation. Do not fear visibility. Do not question what has already been spoken. Heaven has declared it, and your only role now is to align and believe. If this word has touched your spirit, seal it with a declaration. Comment, I am chosen, God will make me famous. Or confirm it with 77 or 111 as your prophetic agreement. Your words matter. Your declaration seals your faith. Do not let this moment pass silently. Speak it out. And before you leave, remember this. Do not forget to subscribe, tap the bell, and share this message. There are others hidden, waiting, wondering if God has passed them by. You may be the very vessel heaven uses to confirm their word. By sharing, you are carrying a message of destiny into someone else's silence. So I close with this prophetic decree. You are chosen, you are sealed, you are protected, and the Lord says, I will make you famous. Nations will hear of you. Generations will be blessed through you. Your name will be known not because of men, but because heaven has placed its mark upon you. Rise now. Your hidden season is ending. Your time of recognition is here. And soon the world will see what I have already declared. You are chosen, and I will make you famous for my glory. The journey you have walked through has not been random. Every delay, every rejection, every season of obscurity has been ordered by the hand of God. Nothing in your story was wasted. Even the tears you cried in silence, even the nights you felt forgotten, even the prayers you whispered when no one else heard, all of it was recorded in heaven. And now those hidden seeds are about to break open in your life. The Lord is saying, what you endured in secret will now be revealed in strength. Understand this. Divine fame is never a reward for endurance alone. It is a mantle. It is not God patting you on the back for surviving. It is God placing a weight of assignment on your shoulders because he can trust you. Many crave visibility, but they cannot bear responsibility. Many desire platforms, but they cannot handle pressure. That is why your path was so narrow, why your tests were so sharp, why your process was so long. God was proving that you are not like the rest. He has refined you until your heart could carry His glory without crumbling. And this is why your rise will be different. The world's fame fades, the world's fame corrupts, but the fame God gives purifies, multiplies, and glorifies Him alone. When He raises your name, it will not be for applause, it will be for awakening. When He spreads your influence, it will not be for entertainment, it will be for transformation. When He puts you in rooms where decisions are made, it will not be for ego, it will be for kingdom purpose. Look at your scars. Every wound you carry has become wisdom. Every betrayal has become discernment. Every rejection has become resilience. The very things that tried to break you are now the evidence that you cannot be broken. This is why you are dangerous to the enemy, because no matter what he tried, you did not quit. You are still here, and that alone is proof that your unveiling cannot be stopped. The Lord says, I will announce you myself. You won't need to strive, manipulate, or network your way into rooms. Heaven will call your name in the right moment. You will find yourself standing where you once thought you could never reach. Doors that seemed locked forever will swing wide without your hand even touching them. And when people ask how you got there, your answer will be simple. God did it. But hear me, this is not the end of the process. It is the beginning of responsibility. Visibility is not a finish line, it is an assignment. Do not step into this season thinking your battles will end. They will shift, they will intensify, but so will your strength. God did not hide you for years only to abandon you in the open. The same God who preserved you in obscurity will cover you in influence. And yes, there will be criticism. Yes, there will be jealousy. Yes, there will be opposition. But the glory on your life will outweigh it all. The weight of God's hand will silence every lie, cancel every accusation, and override every scheme. You will not rise unprotected, you will rise covered. You will not rise alone, you will rise surrounded by angels and guided by grace. So prepare yourself. Guard your heart. Do not let pride poison what God has purified. Keep your eyes on Him, and you will not stumble. Remember always that the elevation is not yours, it belongs to Him. Every word you speak, every platform you stand on, every influence you gain is a stewardship. Treat it with reverence. Use it to glorify Him, not yourself. This is the hour. This is the unveiling. The silence is ending. The world will soon see what heaven has declared all along. You are chosen, you are marked, you are trusted, and God Himself is making your name known. Do not shrink, do not fear, do not doubt. Walk boldly, for the hand of the Lord rests on you. Before the fullness of this elevation manifests, let your spirit understand one thing clearly. What God is doing in you is generational. The announcement of your name is not just about your personal breakthrough, it is about everyone tied to your obedience. There are lives waiting on your rise. There are people who will only believe because they see what God has done in you. That is why the enemy tried so desperately to silence you in the hidden place. If he could have broken your faith there, the ripple effect of your destiny would have been stopped before it began. But you endured, and now heaven is ready to release what has been sealed inside you. Your influence is not for decoration, it is for deliverance. When God makes your name known, the sound of it will carry weight. Some will look at you and see wisdom. Others will look at you and see healing. Others will look at you and see courage, but all of them will know this truth. It was not you, it was the hand of God. That is the essence of divine fame. It is not self-exaltation, it is divine demonstration. Think of Joseph again. His rise was not about luxury, it was about feeding the hungry. Daniel's prominence was not about fame, it was about shifting empires. Esther's crown was not about status, it was about saving lives. David's songs were not about recognition, they were about building faith in a nation. Your rise, too, will be about impact, not applause. When heaven elevates you, it is because there is a people, a generation, a nation waiting on the deposit you carry. But be sober, with greater influence comes sharper testing. The very crowd that celebrates you may also criticize you. The very doors that open may lead into new battlegrounds. The very opportunities that come may also bring distractions designed to pull you off course. This is why you must hold fast to humility and intimacy with God. Those are the anchors that will keep you steady when visibility tries to shake you. Remember how long you walked unseen. Remember how silence taught you dependence. Remember how rejection humbled you. Those memories are not to shame you, but to protect you. They remind you that everything you carry came from Him. They will guard your heart when pride tries to creep in, when applause tries to intoxicate you, when criticism tries to wound you. The hidden season gave you the roots that fame cannot uproot. Your rise will also expose hearts. Some will celebrate you sincerely. Others will envy you silently. Do not be surprised when people you thought would rejoice with you instead distance themselves. God is showing you who is truly aligned with your destiny. Do not chase what is leaving. Do not beg to keep what God is pruning. Visibility requires a refined circle. Heaven is making sure you are surrounded not by spectators, but by supporters, not by users, but by intercessors. And know this: divine fame will put a target on your back in the spirit realm. The more visible you become, the more you will confront opposition. But the covering of God is stronger than any attack. Angels will surround you. Grace will empower you. The same presence that sustained you in obscurity will protect you in visibility. What the enemy means for harm, God will turn for testimony. Every battle ahead will only add weight to your witness. So step forward with courage. Do not apologize for being chosen. Do not shrink to make others comfortable. Do not hide the light that heaven preserved through years of silence. This is your season to rise. This is your moment to walk into the rooms you were born to enter. This is your time to carry the message only you can carry. And when you do, the world will see what heaven has known all along. You were never overlooked, never forgotten, never abandoned. You were being prepared, and now you are being revealed. The cost of carrying divine fame cannot be ignored. You must realize that this mantle is both privilege and pressure, both blessing and burden. God does not place His chosen in positions of visibility to make life easier, but to entrust them with heavier responsibility. When you rise, you will carry not only your own destiny, but the hopes, faith, and breakthrough of those tied to your life. This is why your hidden season was not wasted, it was training. It was in silence that you learned how to rely on God instead of people. It was in rejection that you discovered resilience. It was in waiting that you developed patience. Every hardship formed the backbone you will need in the days ahead. Fame without foundation destroys. But because God built your foundation in the dark, when the light shines on you, you will not collapse. Understand that divine fame magnifies everything. If your heart is pure, purity will shine brighter. If pride lingers, pride will spread faster. If discipline has been established, discipline will sustain you. But if laziness still rules, laziness will ruin you. That is why God dealt with you so thoroughly before the unveiling. He wanted to strip away every weakness that could disqualify you under pressure. He wanted to ensure that when people look at you, they see Him. You must also expect misunderstanding. The higher you go, the less people will understand your process. Some will question your motives. Others will question your worth. Some may even question if you were ever truly chosen. But their doubt does not change heaven's decree. The very fact that you are misunderstood is proof you are walking a path that not everyone can see. Obedience to God will always look strange to those who are bound by the world's measures of success. Expect pressure. People will look to you for answers you may not feel ready to give. They will seek guidance when you are still seeking it yourself. They will expect strength in moments you feel weak. But God's promise is sure. My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Your vulnerability will not disqualify you, it will magnify His power. And yes, expect persecution. The more your light shines, the more darkness will attempt to silence it. You will face criticism you did not earn, resistance you did not provoke, and attacks you did not invite. But remember, persecution is not a sign of failure, it is a seal of authenticity. Jesus Himself said, "Blessed are you when people insult you, persecute you, and falsely say all kinds of evil against you because of me." Opposition will not stop you, it will validate you. Still, every burden carries blessing. Scrutiny will keep you accountable. Envy will keep you humble. Loneliness will draw you deeper into God's presence. Pressure will strengthen your spirit. Persecution will sharpen your faith. What feels heavy will actually preserve you. The very weight of divine fame will force you to stay near God, and that nearness is your safety. The truth is, not everyone can handle this mantle. Many crave recognition but cannot withstand rejection. Many desire platforms but cannot endure pressure. But you have been refined differently. You have endured storms others could not survive. You have passed tests others would have failed. That is why God has trusted you with this call. Do not fear the cost, chosen one. The same God who lifts you will sustain you. The same God who makes your name known will guard it. The same God who places you before people will also shield you from destruction. And though the burden may feel heavy at times, the glory of what it produces will outweigh it all. You are not being lifted for yourself. You are being lifted for a kingdom cause. You are being positioned so that others may encounter him, and that is a cost worth carrying. Before the fulfillment of God's promise arrives in full, heaven always gives glimpses, prophetic indicators that your elevation is close. These signs are not accidents. They are heaven's language, whispering that the hidden season is almost over and the unveiling is about to begin. If you are discerning, you will see that God has already been dropping confirmations along your path. One of the strongest signs is in your dreams. Long before Joseph wore royal garments, he dreamed of his brothers bowing before him. God often reveals glimpses of destiny through visions in the night. If you've been seeing yourself in places of influence, speaking before unexpected audiences, or walking through doors too big for your current reality, pay attention. Dreams are the seeds of destiny, heaven's way of letting you preview what is about to manifest. Another sign is the stirring within your spirit. Where you once felt content to wait, now there is a holy urgency. Your gifts feel like they can't stay silent anymore. Words, ideas, strategies, or creativity begin pressing to come forth. This is not ambition, it is alignment. Heaven is activating what you will need when visibility arrives. The very thing that once felt dormant is now alive with energy, demanding expression. Then come unusual opportunities. Doors you could not have forced open begin to crack. Conversations you never expected suddenly unfold. Invitations arrive that seem beyond your qualifications but aligned with your calling. You may feel unworthy or unready, but these opportunities are heaven's way of saying, your time is near. Step carefully but confidently, because these are not coincidences. They are orchestrated openings. Divine confirmation is another marker. Words from strangers, mentors, or even people outside your circle suddenly echo the very things God has been whispering to you in secret. Someone may say, "I see greatness on your life," or "God is about to use you." These are not casual compliments. They are prophetic confirmations, heaven's echoes reminding you that you are walking the right path. Do not be surprised if warfare intensifies during this season. The enemy can sense your breakthrough approaching, and he grows desperate. Attacks may come in your mind through fear and doubt. Relationships may fracture unexpectedly. Finances may come under pressure. Circumstances may turn chaotic just when you felt momentum building. But do not mistake this for defeat. It is proof that your elevation is close. The greater the battle, the greater the breakthrough waiting on the other side. Another sign is the shifting of relationships. God often removes those who cannot walk with you into your next chapter. Some will drift away, some will grow distant, and it will hurt, but their absence is necessary. At the same time, new alignments will appear, divine connections, people who carry wisdom, encouragement, or open doors. Trust this rearranging. Heaven is editing your circle to prepare you for what is coming. And finally, boldness begins to rise within you. Where fear once held you back, now you feel courage stirring. Where hesitation once silenced you, now confidence begins to flow. You sense a strength you cannot explain, an assurance that God is with you. That boldness is not pride, it is preparation. God is clothing you with the courage needed to step into the spotlight without trembling. All of these signs, dreams, inner stirring, unusual opportunities, divine confirmation, intensified warfare, shifting relationships, and rising courage point to one undeniable truth. Your unveiling is near. Do not dismiss them as random. Write them down, pray over them, let them strengthen your faith. These signs are God's way of preparing you so that when the curtain lifts, you will not hesitate. But remember, signs are not the destination, they are the announcement. They are heaven's way of saying, stay ready, because the moment is coming. Do not grow impatient if the full manifestation hasn't arrived yet. Trust the process. Trust the timing. The very fact that you see these markers means you are closer than you realize. Rejoice in them. They are evidence that your hidden season is ending. They are proof that God has not forgotten you. They are reminders that His word will not fail. And when the moment comes, all the signs will make sense. They were not just hints. They were confirmations that heaven was already preparing the stage. Before visibility comes in fullness, you must pass through the fiercest resistance. The battles right before elevation are unlike anything you've faced before, because the enemy senses what is about to happen. He knows the moment God announces you, influence will ripple, faith will rise, and chains will break in the lives tied to your obedience. So he throws everything he can at you, hoping discouragement will cause you to quit just before the unveiling. Joseph endured his darkest days in the prison right before the palace called for him. David ran for his life in caves while the crown already rested on his destiny. Even Jesus was dragged to the cross before the glory of resurrection. The pattern is unmistakable. Great warfare always comes before great recognition. If you are under pressure now, it is not a sign you are failing. It is confirmation that you are closer than you think. The first battlefield is your own mind. Thoughts whisper that you are not worthy, that you are forgotten, that your season will never come. Those lies are strategic, because if the enemy can break your faith internally, he doesn't need to fight you externally. Guard your thoughts with truth. Speak aloud what God has spoken. I am chosen. I am sealed. I am called. God will make me famous for His glory. Do not let lies outshout prophecy. The second battlefield is people. Just as Joseph's brothers betrayed him and Saul envied David, you too will encounter resistance from those around you. Some will misunderstand your call. Others will resent your rise. Some may even actively try to tear you down. Do not take it personally. Their response is not about you, it is about the light you carry. The oil on your life agitates what is not aligned in theirs. Their resistance is evidence of your assignment. The third battlefield is circumstance. Doors close, resources dry up, opportunities vanish. It feels as if everything is conspiring against you. But what looks like obstruction is actually training. Every delay builds endurance. Every loss builds resilience. Circumstances that seem designed to crush you are actually shaping you for greater responsibility. Think of it as heaven's gym pressure is strengthening your spirit so you can carry the weight of what's coming. And then there is the battlefield of the spirit. Unusual attacks in your sleep, heavy discouragement out of nowhere, sudden waves of fear or confusion. These are signs of intensified warfare, but they are not signs of defeat. Greater is the spirit within you than anything against you. Angels surround you. Heaven backs you. The seal on your life is untouchable. The attacks may roar, but they cannot rewrite what God has already decreed. Here is the mystery. The battles you endure right before visibility are not wasted. They are final preparation. Betrayals sharpen discernment. Rejections toughen resilience. Delays strengthen patience. Spiritual warfare awakens authority. Without these battles, you would not be ready for the platform. The enemy meant them to destroy you, but God uses them to refine you. And when the unveiling comes, your scars will testify louder than your words. So when opposition intensifies, lift your head. Do not crumble. Do not surrender to fear. Say to yourself, this is confirmation. My visibility is near. My breakthrough is close. The hand of God is about to move. The enemy fights hardest at the edge of promotion, because he knows once you rise, he cannot pull you back down. Hold your ground. This storm will not last. This pressure will not break you. The same God who sustained you in obscurity will cover you in visibility. And when the battle ends, you will not just emerge as a survivor, you will rise as a testimony. The very weapons formed against you will prove the power of God in you. The very pain you endured will become the story that strengthens others. The very scars you carry will shine as proof that no enemy could silence what heaven decreed. The word has been spoken, the process has been endured, and now we stand at the final charge. This is not the end of your journey, chosen one, it is the threshold of your unveiling. Heaven has decreed, I will make you famous. That decree is not a suggestion, not a possibility, but a certainty. The very seasons that felt like punishment were preparation. The silence you thought was abandonment was refinement. The rejection you took as failure was actually redirection. And now all of it comes together as God lifts you into the light of recognition. Hear this blessing. Every delay that tried to hold you back is breaking. Every chain that bound you is loosed. Every voice that said you would remain hidden is silenced. Favor is going before you. Provision is aligning with your path. Strength is rising in your spirit. Protection is covering your steps. From this day forward, the weight of obscurity gives way to the mantle of visibility. You will walk in doors you did not knock on. You will stand in rooms you once thought were too far, and you will know in your spirit that it was God alone who placed you there. But this mantle comes with responsibility. Fame in the world is self-serving, but divine fame is kingdom-serving. Do not forget why God is lifting you. He is not raising your name so people will worship you. He is raising you so people will see Him through you. Keep your heart bowed even as your life rises. Stay rooted in the secret place. Guard your intimacy with God fiercely, because that intimacy is your anchor when applause grows loud and criticism grows louder. And now, let me release a prophetic declaration over you. May every hidden gift within you come alive. May every seed that was buried in the soil of obscurity break through the surface and bear fruit. May courage rise where fear once lived. May boldness take the place of hesitation. May clarity fill your mind and peace steady your heart. May the Spirit of God so clothe you that when people see you, they cannot deny His presence. Your name will travel farther than your feet ever could. Your voice will echo in places you have never been. Your story will impact lives you will never meet, and all of it will be for His glory. You are stepping into a season of recognition that is not fleeting, not fragile, not man-made, but divinely established. So respond now. Seal it with your words. Say it aloud. Type it in faith. I am chosen. God will make me famous. Or declare it with 77 or 111 as a prophetic sign of agreement. Do not let silence rob you of sealing this moment. Heaven responds to faith declared. And as we close this word, remember, do not leave without aligning yourself with this mission. Subscribe, tap the bell, and share this message so that others still hidden, still waiting, can find their confirmation too. You may be the very messenger God uses to awaken their destiny. Chosen one, rise. Your hidden season is ending. Your time of recognition is here. Nations will hear of you. Generations will be blessed through you. And the world will soon see what heaven has always declared. You are chosen, and you will be made famous for His reason and His glory.